mean, if they really wanted to destroy Webb, someone, Russia and China are most capable obviously, could send a missile after the telescope. But it won't be in orbit around Earth like Hubble is. Instead, it will be over at the L2 Lagrange point, which is the opposite side of Earth from the Sun. So it won't be really easy to get to, but sending a missile is possible. I seriously doubt that the Webb telescope has much in the way of defensive measures it could take. There might be the possibility that it could use its thrusters to move out of the way, but I doubt they would be very effective, especially if the missile only tried to damage the telescope using shrapnel instead of destroying it by a direct hit. Can the telescope be moved? Yes, it is designed to orbit the L2 point rather than just sit there, so it does have thrusters and propellant to allow slight adjustments to be made. But how fast they could move the telescope is not something I quite know, although I seriously doubt that it is very fast. And the telescope operators, or someone, would have to be looking for something like this to even see it in time to be able to do anything. Bottom line, if someone wanted to take it out, they could, but I seriously doubt anyone would do that. Webb has no spying capabilities, so other than to really annoy the USA, taking it out would serve no purpose. Then again, never underestimate stupid obsession. Well, we could destroy it through missile, but what about other forms? Otherwise, what could really take out the telescope is another meteoroid or asteroid that could potentially break its mirrors, like the one that happened on May 27th earlier this year. There are plenty of micrometeoroids in space, high-speed debris no bigger than a dust grain, but moving so fast that they can pack a true destructive impact. Every day, millions of such fragments rain down on Earth, but they incinerate in the atmosphere long before they reach the ground. The Webb, parked in a spot in space 1.6 million kilometers or 1 million miles away from Earth, has no such protection, and as NASA and others have reported in the past week or month, its mirror, the heart of the Space Telescope, has already been dinged 5 times by tiny spaceflecks, the most recent of which has done real but correctable damage. The Webb's mirror is an exquisite piece of engineering, measured 6.5 meters, 21 feet and 4 inches across. It's made up of 18 hexagonal segments, each of which can be moved along 7 different axes to allow controllers to focus the overall instrument. Together, the segments made of beryllium have an area of 25 square meters, 260 square feet. All of them are covered with reflective gold, but in a film so thin that if it were peeled off and tamped down into a sphere, it would measure no bigger than a golf ball. Meanwhile, the beryllium is so smoothly polished that if it were expanded to the size of the United States, its biggest imperfection would be 7.6 centimeter. That's a heck of a piece of hardware to leave exposed to the space elements. But if you're going to do your work where Webb does, it's a risk that you have to take. What makes the recent micrometeoroid hit especially troubling is that while NASA scientists simulated such collisions on the ground, the impact that occurred is bigger than the ones they modeled. But however, with Webb's mirror exposed to space, we expected that occasional micrometeoroid impacts would gracefully degrade the telescope performance over time. These things are expected, and there are margins of error expected by NASA. This one is larger than our degradation predictions assumed, the one that hit the telescope on May 27. Thank you so much for watching, and if you want to know more about Webb and how it can prove that we might be living in a simulation, then click this video right here, because we delve deep into what could potentially be the most existing time in history. See you soon. Cheers.